Now, in the last video I mentioned preterism. I actually was very much aware that there is an interpretation from the secular side, or almost secular side, where scientists interpreted revelations and put everything in the past. So when I read about preterism, I saw that they put also all things in the past. So I thought they are the secular interpretation, but it seems they are not. They are they are Christians. And when I read that book about the interpretation and that kind of interpretation about revelations, I got very close to understanding how a Christian's mind got changed, twisted. I think I very much see them as insane. They are not thinking like a normal human being. They twist things in. I apologize from all Christians for that, but that's just the case. They are not rational, not logical. They just something else. Uh, Now, in the preterist perspective, especially about the first 11 chapters, are a very interesting thing and very useful for the interpretation. They use, they think, they try to they express that they can be used as the description of that current days political happenings. There was a 42 months war between Jews and Romans. There was some slight rebellion, and there was when is that special locust plague. It is mentioned for it took for 5 months. So there was another Caesar, another rebellion, and that kind of things, or hunting or something else. I It was so detailful and so full of like where there is a sign where a star falls down and uh, poisons all poisons the waters, and it turns to where what Chernobyl means. Uh, they gave concordances to express how that is only as a parable on God's punishment on the chosen people because they left Him. So that is a very interesting additional thing, but I don't want to express you something else what I myself interpreted from this. On the 11th chapter, I think, is the core for interpretation. It uses, well, we know that the number of God is 7. The 11th chapter, especially the sixth sound of the sixth trumpet, yes, the sixth trumpeting, is full of half of God's holy number, the 7. The half of it is 3.5. It is about years. So there is also several mentions of 42 months, and also several mentions of 1260 days. You have to count with the 30 days months and the 360 days years. Uh, and when you think John's Revelations have 22 chapters, and now we are in the 11th, so that's the half of it. And I think all things in the first 7 seals and the introduction section, where John starts to see his vision or the angel starts dictate to John what he wants to write. That is a little contradictory. Is about the happenings from the Old Covenant. The Actually, the first seven seals are an introduction, an overview part of the worldview of John. The first four is the description of war, in order, both in the normal order where you find bowmen and swordsmen and economic crisis and death and that kind of things, but also in the reversed order. First the victory comes, then the fight comes, then the reason of the war comes, well, the made-up reason, and first the problem, what it made necessary to attack another country, and that kind of things. Now I start to run out of time again. Oh shit. Now, there comes the seventh trumpet, then the fifth seal comes where the expression of we can hardly wait to God's kingdom come. Now what? There isn't happen anything actually. That's not really a sign, if you ask me. The sixth seal is a judgment day where it represents Jesus entering on the world and spreading of the Holy Spirit. With the bending of the flat earth with the four angels prevents the wind where no one knows where it comes and where it goes. That's the representation of the Holy Spirit. And the seventh seal is the big silence. The future is unknown according to Revelations. Now comes the seven trumpets. The first can be matched with the 10 plagues on Egypt, the hailstones, the waters turning to blood, the big massacres. Then the second trumpet is leaving Egypt, dividing the Red Sea, drowning the Egyptian army. The third trumpet, 40 days in the desert. The star is Moses. Can be interpreted as the water flowing from the stone, the punishments for the constant complaints of the Jews. The fourth fourth trumpet is the book of Joshua, and the fifth is the book of Judges, in a sense, and the sixth trumpet is the age of kings described. It started with the great kings David and Solomon and continues with the division of the country where Judah and Israel got separated. Then the book of the prophets comes, especially pictures from Ezekiel are very easily recognized. And it ends with the Assyrian Babylonian conquest on the Jewish land. And the seventh sign is the birth of Jesus and that's consequences. And that's it, what I wish to tell you, what is my interpretation on the first 11 chapters on the earthly happenings in John's Revelations.